He knows the tough truth, and this one's a little tough. It stings a teeny bit, so just brace yourself, but this is the truth. The tough truth is nobody's going to find you as interesting as you do. Right? Everybody good? Okay. So it's the truth. Sure, we have interesting stories. And we like to engage with others. And we like to tell people about what happened today. We want to do that. We want to share. And we should, because that makes people feel like they've gotten to know us a little bit better. What great leaders know is that they might have something interesting to share. But nobody's going to care about their lives as much as they do. Why? We love our lives. We're in our lives. We're in our lives day to day. She just talked about my bodybuilding. You heard everything you need to know about my bodybuilding. Nobody's going to care about every rep I do or every set. Nobody's going to care about how I spent every single minute of my day at CAP. That's why I cut my book by 100 pages before I published it. Because I knew as much as I loved my story, nobody was going to care about it as much as I did. And that's the truth. It's the truth. And that's not to say we don't care about each other, we don't have interesting things to say, but nobody's going to love what we have to say as much as we do. So we engage others, we share a bit, we talk about our lives, but here's what great leaders do, and here's what I continue to practice every single day. They know other people aren't going to care about every single detail of their traffic jam on the way to whatever meeting they went to. They know other people are not going to care about every single point in their child's Little League game. So we get to the good stuff and we leave out the rest. We keep it short. We engage, we get to the big nugget, maybe share a detail or two, and then we move on and engage the other person. That's the big trick. We think that we can share and engage and get a level deeper by telling them all about us. That's not the way great leaders do it. Great leaders come, tell you enough to make you feel like they know something, like they're not hiding anything, which is not what you want to do. But then they focus on the other person. They ask great questions. They know how to engage. They don't just say, what is it that you do? But then they say, is that always what you thought you'd do? What other careers have you had? Most of us have had, what was your favorite? I was a waitress. I was a news producer. I worked in all kinds of places before I started my company. So what other jobs have you had? Where else have you lived? How many kids do you have? What's it like having one kid? What's it like having one of each kid? A boy and a girl. They know how to take a good question and ask another question and make that person feel like they are just fascinating, which they are. I love networking now. I see each one as a challenge. I'm like, what little nugget am I going to find out? I sat with this guy who seemed kind of like, he was in a gray suit. He was sitting next to me. I started engaging him. He's a dentist. I was like, oh, what can I find out here? His clients up in LA were Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. I did the Elaine thing from Seinfeld. I'm like, you're kidding me. Oh my God. I'm so glad I asked that question. So great. So turn to each other. I'm going to give you a minute, and then I'll say to switch and try to ask a couple of great questions and see how tricky it is or how good you can do. And we'll come back in a minute.